Okay. I'm here. Whoops. Let me get this thing under the microphone. Sorry. Live television. Okay. Whew. It's always tough getting started. I thought I'd leave you with a couple of minutes of Epidemic, royalty-free music, which is kind of nice. Let me turn it down just a little bit so we don't... yeah, so I noticed the last time, or one of the last times I did this, we had Epidemic a little too loud. And then another time we did this, we didn't have Epidemic at all. So now we're in perfect shape. I have connected. It just so happens these Bose Ultimate noise canceling headphones, the brand new ones, are really quite nice, and they're very deep, percussive sounding. So, of course, I listen to the news with them. Yeah, it's not like I sign up for some real deep-seated music interludes, but one could, and one should. All right, it's Monday the 13th. It's not Friday the 13th, it's Monday the 13th, which makes it a little easier to deal with. It's 11:55 a.m. And 4 or 5 seconds or so. And so let's just go here, just so we can see. You can see me over here in the bottom right corner. And we can change that a little bit. There we go. Look at that. So now we're like, I switch sides. So now I'm in the right side. And then on the left is, so as of this morning, it was 82 degrees, going to 83 at 1 p.m., and it was 73. The low point was 73 degrees at 7 a.m. That's how that reads. And on the Funkin' dial here, you can see that little white dot is where we are temperature-wise in partly cloudy Boca Raton. And you can see the other top of the weather thing here. 82, 82, 82, 81, 80. Sunrise 6:38, sunset 5:31 p.m. As a reminder, this is Eastern Standard Time now. Marco Rubio has had a bill up in Washington that basically says, we want daylight savings times 12 months out of the year. We don't want this, front and back and 2 a.m. and extra hour of sleep and not an hour of sleep. It louses up in your biology something known as your adrenal cycle, which has to do with time and the light. Light comes in your bedroom and wakes you up. Anyway. And at nighttime, you're supposed to be home, safely locked in your place. Anyway, he got the bill up there, and then we couldn't get it. I think the president. I think it's been passed through the House. It's nowhere in the Senate, because those jerks won't do anything, so everything is so political. I mean, the time, really, does that have to be political? All right. Just for, we got a new phone for number 4 son Daniel, and it's been delivered. Delivered right to the door at 11:08 a.m. this morning. And right here, which, let's see how much I can pull this. Ooh. This is the phone. Comes in a box like this, which you've probably seen. I think we did an unboxing. Comes with a coil of wire. Comes with a little tiny package of paper. I mean, this is the Apple documentation. It's, oh my God, 2 inches. Could it be 2 inches? 2 by 2. You no longer need a physical SIM card for activation. Your eSIM, you set up your eSIM during setup. Yeah. And then here's your legal. And for me to see that, I have to put on, I already have reading glasses on. Let me put on another pair. So now I got 2. Now you know your father time when you got to have 2 pairs. That's the only way I can see this print. I mean, what the heck is going on here? Double tap. Double tap. See, little thing comes in. Double tap. No. Anyway, so safety and handling, battery and charging, lasers. Oh my God. This satisfies the government requirement for disclosure, apparently, and nothing more. And of course, we get the Apple logo, which you can see there. See there? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if he wants the documentation. I will put it aside and ask him if he wants the documentation. Oh yeah, we put it right up there. My other piece of documentation. Anyway, so he's got what he asked for, the titanium black, which is, I don't know if I'd call that black. It looks like gray to me, but no one asks. And there's the, gosh darn it. If we peel up this magic paper, it says, hello. Whoops. Magic paper popped off. There we go. We'll put that on again. All right. Volume up, volume down, and the special button. Anyway, so we're finishing up that. Guess I can take off the second pair of glasses. These are 1.0. I should just need it for like looking across at that screen. These are 1.5s. Just a little bit more magnification. Of course, I can actually read pretty good. Right. This is, yeah, you may want that. And then this box. Not that box. Not that box. Oh, God. There we go. Perfect. Nope, not that one. give you a charger. I'll give him that charger. I'm a mess. Let me see that. Okay. Ah, darn. Got an avalanche. Oh well. What are you gonna do? What's this one? This one here would work. Now this is the special one for. I mean, these guys are like, what a racket. This is the $100 cable when you want to transfer files at lightning speed or 100 amp charging or something. This 2 amp charging. What's this? 1 amp charging. Yep, this is a science project. Alright, we gotta find him. Alright, it's not in there. Okay, forget that. We'll figure him in. He's not gonna be over here to like, I don't know. He may be local. All right, let's go through. We got important things to do here. Anyway, so that showed up. I got distracted. Sorry. Let's get to the news. The serious news today. We're sorry to say that the president's older sister died at 4 a.m. this morning. She had an apparent heart attack. You know, went into fibrillation, couldn't resuscitate. And the last time he saw her was at his place in Bedminster. Here you go. Mary Ann Trump Barry, older sister of Donald Trump, dies at 86. The older sister of she was an accomplished, she was a senior judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit until she retired in 2019. She was appointed to the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey by then-President Ronald Reagan, oh my God, in 1983, and then was appointed to the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit in 1999 by then-President Bill Clinton. So she has passed the muster of quite a number of, two very significant political figures in our American history. And, she, 86, she lived a nice full life. She was retired and, everybody loves his brothers and sisters, usually. There's a picture of her. There's the younger Donald, as they say. I don't know what this guy is. Let's see if we have Robert Trump. That's a younger brother. Oh, my God. 3 of the president's 4 siblings have now died. Robert Trump, his youngest brother, died in August of 2020 at 71. And Fred Trump Jr. died of a heart attack when he was just 42 years old in 1981. Oh boy. Anyway, the Donald is one strong dude, and he would have to get run over by a truck because he is one tough dude. He's a little portly, so he needs to watch, his blood pressure and all that thing. But he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. So all those things, affect your organs. It affects your bones. I was told by a respected thoracic surgeon that works on hips and legs and this and that, is that if you drink excessively, your bones become soft, and crushing blows on your joints can collapse the rounded surface of the convex nature of the curvature of the ball joint. Yeah. And so if you do too much activity and you drink too much, you could collapse that ball, and it would look like a tennis ball that doesn't have any pressure, and it has like a dimple. Well, when that dimple is moving inside your joint, it hurts. So you don't want to do that. No. All right, so got through that part of the news. So Donald doesn't drink or smoke. He apparently likes pasta because he's a little portly. A little bit portly. Not much. A little bit portly. So here's a more, so here's a more recent picture in Bedminster, New Jersey, where he has the Trump International something. So I was going through my Funkin' Wagnalls, and you know what? Look what I found. This, and see, June of 2022. This is 2028. So this is last year. This is not even, I was trying to get back to, I have to go back another year. Anyway, look at that, $58,990. So that's $10 short of $59,000. If you price the car out today, it's, with all my stated extras, which is not much, 2,000 for the paint, 1,000 for the white interior, 1,000 for the tow hitch, brings the grand total to $52,990 instead of what? $58,990. That's $6,000 lower today than it was just last year. Anyway, I was priced out just in case. The advantage that Tesla has, all these manufacturers, they have their own leasing plans and their separate affiliates. But, the Tesla affiliates run a little bit closer. They have, joint meetings. They talk to each other. So, yeah. What's this plug? All right, this plug is you should have one of those. Anyway, so I thought that was just a little tiny bit interesting. All right, so you've heard about, if you're, since right now, Teslarati stuff here. In the Model S and Model X, they started out with this battery, the 8650. 80, so how that nomenclature is made up of. See the top of this? We're going to measure from this side to that side. You can see it right through my microphone. Marilyn's iPad just rang. 18 millimeters from here to here. So that's the 18 part of the 18650. Well, guess what the 65 is? That's how many millimeters from top to bottom. So that's how that works. 18650. All right, now if we go to the 2170, we apply the same principles. 21 millimeters across and 70 millimeters high. So it's 5 millimeters taller and 3 millimeters larger in diameter. And that makes for a battery that is, see, this is set back a little bit than this, because you have it like in an arch. And the lens, it should have been lined up straight so you'd get a better comparison. But a 2170 cell is, it looks a little, larger, unmistakably larger. When you look at this, it looks like they're the same size. They're not. This middle one is bigger. All right, now the 4680, what does that mean? Same logic. 46 millimeters in diameter and 80 millimeters, so it's a good 15 millimeters taller than this original cell. And 18 and 18 is 36, 24, so. Let's just try something. Come on. So it's almost triple. Not quite. 36, 46. Let's just say 2.5 times diameter. So you get a lot more surface area because, those surfaces are rolled up. So you got a lot bigger roll. Anyway, so it packs a lot more energy in those bigger cells than having all these little tiny ones with the steel cases and all that stuff. So you got a bigger cell with more lithium components and to give more power to the car. The biggest problem with the I mean, we really, we've been driving the Tesla now for 2.5 years. It comes due in June of 24. So we've got November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. There we go. 8 fingers. So we got 8 months left. And then we got to turn that baby back. We can't even acquire the car at the end of the lease term. They said, nope, you got to turn it back. Now, maybe when we get there, they'll say something else, but 3 years in the life of anything digital is too long. So we will return it. And if it's seems too expensive for our lifestyle in 8 months from now, that'd be the end of Tesla. We'll get ourselves, something else. And number 4 son is our car guy. We'll let him figure it out. try to get the cost as reasonable as possible. All right, here's a nice little picture I found. A black and white picture of Donald Trump. And look who's over here on the side pocket. Yeah. And look at it, and even more on the side. Come on, guys. Everything works on your fingernails, everything. All right, whoops, let's go over here. Yep. There's Donald Jr. And this is Bongino, I think. And I don't know who that guy is with the hat. And I don't have a captioned photograph. What do we got here? Oh, that looks like Sebastian and Sebastian Boca in big time. Looks like he's got an assault weapon with a scope. Yeah. Bill Fisher turns 55 in a couple of days. Bill Fisher hired Jimmy et al. To photograph his European tour a few years ago. So we ran all over Denmark, Sweden, what do you call it? It was an interesting experience. And today, I mean, the digital cameras today are. I used to have this, this huge lens I'd carry around, for soccer. Oh my God. It weighed like 3 or 4 pounds. About 3 or 4 pounds when you're walking around in the sun. It gets heavy and heavy because the camera is 3 or 4 pounds. So that's 6 or 7 pounds. I get a bracket and a thing, so that's 8 pounds. So when you're carrying 8 pounds for 18 hours, woo! So now, and that was a 6 million pixel camera. Now today, I have a 45 million pixel camera, and a 24 to 240 millimeter lens, which is one lens, and it carries all these focal lengths. And I'm working on this little doodad. God darn it. I gotta get rid of this tea thing. There's not even any tea in it. I've gotten under this kick of drinking hot tea in the morning. So this is, let's just take this off. So this is a frame. Look at this. Let me, there we go. Let's do a bigger one of these. See, look at that. So this is a frame. Everything's included except for this will do that because that holds the microphone, which that comes off. There we go. Twist that. And that just slides off. Put that on this side, this side. I picked this side. I'm sure an undisclosed reason. I forget why I put it over here, but here it is. You can put it in the middle. But I decided to put it over there because when you put to put the camera in, you just lift up this thing over here, slide that in there, which includes the case. You don't even have to take the case off. So now the camera is, oops, sorry. So when you hold this thing, it let's see, where's the, oh, here we go. Disconnect. So Just hold that. There we go. See, oops. Now we have a video camera with this unbelievable lens system. And then you can pop this microphone on here. A Sennheiser. And then this magic little, I guess this is the only magic. The microphone is a Sennheiser 650 or something. I'm gonna forget the model number, but it's a really good microphone, and you can see by the little nomenclature on the top here, if you can see that. See that right there? That means it's very directional in front. Sound hardly comes, so I could be sitting here, standing here talking to people while I'm videoing in on something, and you can't hear. There's no, you could have a marching band behind you and you don't really hear it. Now this is the magic. This little guy right here. So this is the USB-C, which is now what this phone needs. And of course, I have this upside down. So I can pull this off and put this way, because I need this USB-C thing on that side. So, I gotta get to the central button. Yeah, there we go. So I need to get to this plug. So you plug that in. Come on, baby. You need micro fingers. Or better yet, plug it in first. There you go. You got it figured out eventually, you dumb duty. All right, so we go like there. Can I get to the, you got to be able to make sure you got the buttons. Okay, so buttons are going to be over on that side. So you shove the whole thing over that way. So now the camera is, is there. The boom mic is here. This is connected. And then I can take this plug out of here and plug it right in there. So now I am I am ready for video. It's all set. The microphone goes in there. The headphones go in there. And let's try it. If I push that button, it goes to camera mode automatically. And put this on video. One, two, three, testing. All right, 1, 2, 3, more light needed. So I'm going to come like here. But when you have this frame and you move it around like this, it just has a very different appeal. And, okay, now I'm going to turn it off because we got a 20-second test. And unplug that. I need to go back to I can hear myself. All right, so it's easy to disassemble this. So now I can take the camera out of here. I can take that out of there. I can pull this out, so you just have the stick thing in there. Oh, I didn't have the microphone on, so you're not going to hear the sound. It's going to be silent movies. I actually wanted to hear that, but we'll do that test another day. Let's get out of here. Let's go to camera. push that button against the camera mode. We're going to go here. See, there it is. You can hear just a little tiny bit. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. Oh, I didn't even have the battery thingy on. Let's do it again. Two, three, more light needed. So I'm going to come like here. But when you have this frame and you move, it's a very different appeal. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. Very interesting. Okay, wonder what happens when you have the on switch on. All right, well, you know, you have to test this stuff out, you know, before you're on field or in your venue, because you got all this technology. So apparently you just plug that and plug in there, and you don't need a boost. But we're going to put the boost on there and see if that helps the volume level. It should. Gives it, it produces 48 volts of electricity that comes through DC. So it does not affect the audio, because the audio signal, you know, is a vibrating kind of thing. So it produces 48 volts of phantom power, they call it. So it's power, you know, behind the scenes. So you can't see the power, and it doesn't affect the audio frequency pattern, but it affects the it gives the dynamic, because that is a condenser microphone. So with a condenser microphone, you want the phantom power to stimulate the electronics in that microphone. Anyway, so that, and we'll play with that in a little bit, and then I'll come back to it tomorrow. So this right here, this comes with the Sennheiser boom microphone. It's designed to operate with, you know, so you can plug it into cameras or iPhones. I mean, the iPhone camera is, and the software, the firmware that's, you know, with the camera. I mean, they've got years of research, and they got all these, you know, electrical engineers and software engineers, and they attract, you know, the most competent, they attract the most capable of manufacturers to produce. I mean, they got 3 cameras in here that are so amazing. It's hard to believe. This camera right here has the prism lens to give you 5x optical zoom, image stabilized. Okay? And then you got 2 other cameras, a wide angle camera and a telephoto camera. And one of these, I think it's this top one, is, you know, like 48 megapixels. 48 million pixels? Really? And this little tiny doodad. And this is, I think, 12. And I think this one is 12. Medication reminder. I did it. Done. Taken. Get out of here. There's my trusty calculator. Turn the intensity down there. There we go. If I turn this light up or down, I don't know if that'll help. don't think it does. I gotta turn this really. This, there we go. Let's do that. The camera lens is so sensitive that if you have the brightness on this thing anywhere near what you would want it like overmodulates. So you can just about, if I hold it at an angle, maybe we can see. Yeah, it looks like an HP 19C. Not in reverse Polish. 22 divided by 3 equals. Oh. Yeah, 22 divided by 7. 3.14. Pi is 3.141596. 3.141596. I remembered pi to 6 decimal places. There's only 3 people on the planet that knows pi to 6 decimal places. Okay. I think there's a way of actually coming up with pi. Down here somewhere. You know, like if you push a button, you get pi. Convert. US conversion. I don't know. Anyway, you'll have to. Let's see about that. We get pi there. Pi r squared. Pi r round. Cornbread r square. Come on, anyone knows that. Already main menu. There we go. On one of these calculators, you just push the button, you get pi to 3.141596. I remember that. Anyway, so Daniel's phone is here. I am charging it. I have this special wire in here. There's one thing about our kitties. They are well stocked with gadgets because I am the gadget king. The phone goes in that way, so the camera parts are down in that little thingy. And we bought this outright. We didn't trade it. So they're not telling me I gotta send something back. You know, I mean, the way to get these phones is you go to your connection company. Like we're AT&T Wireless. So you go to AT&T and you get the phone at AT&T. Forget Apple. They get Apple devices that are designed for AT&T, you know, because the networks are slightly different than Verizon. And I don't know how they compare to T-Mobile. But AT&T is a big network. Verizon is a big network. They're, you know, just about equal in size as far as network, which is irrelevant because they both have agreements between each other that if you have AT&T and you're in a Verizon place that has more antennas and all that, you know, in Butte, Montana, you can automatically it'll automatically switch over to those antennas with no roaming charge. Roaming, schmoaming, you know, forget that. That's a term of the past. Because these big companies have said, you know what, instead of us having to have towers everywhere, we got a lot of towers. You got a lot of towers. So if we're in an area that, you know, we have more towers than you, we'll allow your equipment to switch over our towers so that we're not knocking each other out to build towers in remote cities. You know, they cover the top 300 or 400 cities. And if you go down the list, when you get down to the top 400 cities, the smallest of the top four, was like 50,000 people, which is small compared to 5 million. But it covers, a lot of different people. So, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so I'm working on this little thing. I think I'm going to play a little more. It's after lunchtime, probably. Yeah, it's 12:39. We've been on the air for 48 minutes and 55 seconds. So I'm going to work that up. Try to turn on a microphone, see how that goes. I'm going to walk around, go outside, hang over the balcony, show, just do a little video, what you call it. And I'll have my headphones plugged into this. And this goes in there. And I tell you, don't need. How nice. I'll turn on the battery and see what happens. If there's no, discernible difference, then I won't turn it on. Save the battery for a different connector. Boom microphones. That's where they have them up on a boom, and they hold them up, like this, and the boom hangs down. You can turn this way and that way, so that aims right down your nose, so to speak, and it picks up the sound as if the microphone is like right next to your, because it's very direct. This microphone is directional. That's not so directional. Whoops. If I come over here, you can't hear me so much. And if I come over here, you're going to hear me a lot. So it is, if you're behind, you're getting vibrations off other appliances, screens and things. And if you come around this way, you're getting the direct shot. And if I have it on my sideways like this, let me push it back a little bit. There we go. So instead of talking into it, you get the pop, 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 which will blow out a pair of speakers real quick. Talk sideways into it, and that way when you go, it doesn't make the microphone crazy. If you have it right in front of you, you get that. A jet airplane just blew out my ears here. Yeah, so you're talking to the side. Yeah, you get you learn microphone technique 307. It's a class you take, some of your prestigious audio engineering schools, and they show you all about that, and they show you graphs and charts and why if you talk sideways like this, you can get real close. Rubbing my whiskers on there. Shorter. We went to the mayor's ball on Saturday, so Saturday morning I put my shaver on and have a blade in it. I got a little nothing much. So instead of being completely clean face, I have a let's see, I think it's a 8 or 9 millimeter blade extender, so the blade is 9 millimeters above. It's got a rake, and there's a name for that piece, and the name escapes me. But it comes in, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, different lengths that you want your whiskers. So I think I have it set to 9, which is like, in the English terminology, it's like 3/8 of an inch. It's not much. This right here. Oops, I just lost Facebook. We're going to So this right here, that's 3/8 of an inch. This is more. That's like a 1/4 inch. 3/8 is a nice length. It doesn't get in the way. It doesn't make you look too growly. Not too growly at all. I think we covered most of the news. Here's a little piece of news. Zelle it's owned by 6 banks, which I learned that today. I didn't realize Zelle was owned by 6 banks, including Morgan and Bank of America and 4 other banks. Well, they're under, they're in the headlines because there are people that'll go out there and say, hey, you owe, I'm part of, your credit card company. And if you click this button, you can make your payment and you can use the Zelle system and bam, it'll happen. You don't have to enter any card information. Well, it's fraudulent. There's like $400 million worth of fraudulent payments that people, they see that and they just say, yeah, all right, make the payment. I don't have to, So, a growing concern about Zelle scams has seen parent company Early Warning Services, EWS, to begin refunding of some people that were duped into sending money to criminals instead of to, Capital One credit cards or whatever. The U-turn on this previous stance that made customers are responsible for their own transactions that they believe in, federal government says, nope. If they actually have an account with Capital One and this guy pretended he was Capital One and it went through because it wasn't made absolutely clear, that the transactions don't go in reverse, you're going to refund it. Or a system will refund it, or something. So that's the news. Zelle is, I wouldn't call it under investigation, but there are 2,100 financial firms on Zelle, 2,100 financial organizations, like banks, on Zelle, and it's a peer-to-peer network owned by 7, misstated, I said 6, 7 banks, including Chase, Morgan Stanley Chase, Bank of America, to name 2 of the 7. There are 5 others. They have begun reversing transfers as of June 30 for customers duped into sending money to scammers claiming to be a form of a government agency. This is the IRS. Pay us $300 in your Zelle system and we'll settle the matter. And they're not part of the federal government. God. Wow. Bank or existing service provider said Early Warning Services, EWS. The bank's company that owns Zelle. So apparently EWS owns Zelle, and the banks own EWS. So we have a little, little hierarchy there for the ownership. That appears to mean that you'll be reimbursed if the scammers pretended to be a government agency or a bank. However, it also suggests that if the scammer pretended to be a company, you'll only get your money back if you actually have an account with that company. That makes sense. Finally, it appears you'll be out of luck if the scammer posed as an individual, such as a family member, and you sent the money. Then Sorry. So a scammer pretended he's your brother. You sent money without any conversation, then you don't deserve to have the money. As of March 2022, the New York Times reports that scams were flourishing on Zelle and it caught the attention of lawmakers frequently critical of big banks, including Senator Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, oh yeah. She's on your side. Hide under the table. She and other lawmakers started an investigation estimating that Zelle users had lost $440 million. I knew I had $400 million from somewhere. Zelle users lost $440 million to all types of fraud in 2001 alone. Oh my God, 2022, it'd probably 800 million. During a Senate hearing last year, Warren told Diamond and other bank CEOs that they had created a perfect weapon for criminals. Baloney. Zelle is a marvelous tool, and when Marilyn gets paid, I can use Zelle and get that money right over there into TD and start spending it on bills, of course, not on toys. I have all the toys that are humanly possible to fit in this apartment. Every nick and cranny is full of Jimmy toys. So no more toys for Jimmy. Yep. And I've got really good stuff. So anyway. Artificial intelligence. I don't know why people are spooked about artificial intelligence. I don't get that exactly. Let's go here. Oh yeah, I just have to add this. Bingo. There we go. Yeah, that's good. I'm over here, and this is over there. Now I can touch this. There we go. Then we get. But we want to reverse this, so I just hit that little button right there. There we go. So now I got a big one of these, and I'm over here in the corner. And we get right. Oops. Let's go up on the top. Should I go up on the top? Yeah, why not? Yeah, right up in the top corner. There's no text up there. Yeah. So now when I move this, you can see me up in this little upper right-hand corner. Okay. So I'll be interested to see if the sound, the background sound, is, appropriate. I used a little precision. There you go. That's middle. This is here. I can go all the way up. And not overmodulate. So this way, I'm going to go down one more level. There we go, right there. So we can hear it in the background, but I don't have to compete with it. 4 and 5 senior business leaders are now deploying, or will deploy, artificial intelligent tools in order to remain competitive and enhance customer experiences. A new research has claimed. An IBM study of more than 1,600 senior business execs across 6 European countries has uncovered how work for many companies' top execs has changed since the introduction of new generative AI solutions. I started going, I told myself, I got to figure out this GBT thing. Because people don't know it. And, it's a little bit code, specific. So if you wanted to do certain things, you have to add code somehow, like in plugins. And I understand what a plugin is generally, but I don't know exactly how to plug in with a GBT. So I'm going to try to figure that out over the next few days or a week. and get primed. Maybe, you know what? I'll go to YouTube. They probably have a YouTube video on how to deal with programming GPT. There you go. Zelle, a topic of today's news. Because scammers are trying to fool people out of their money. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yep. Anyway, I love Zelle because I can transfer we've got 3 banks. We've got Seacoast Bank, which we don't pay any bills out of Seacoast because Marilyn's a senior person and we don't want to overdraft that account because it goes to senior management and say, hey, Marilyn, you're overdrafting. Come on, you're supposed to be financially competent. You can't add and subtract. And it's always my fault. Truthfully, I hit the wrong account on a transfer and, sorry, sweetie. So I don't want to do that. So I pay no bills online or otherwise with her account. There are 3 transfers made a month, and it's all going from her account to my TD account. Now I pay 90% of all the bills in TD, and I pay about 10% of the bills, little tiny ones, over there at Truist Bank. And we get our Social Security check in Truist. So when they hit on a Wednesday, I move that over to TD Bank. So we move all the money into TD Bank, and we have a free-for-all there to pay the bills. And he who's up at bat first gets paid. No, everybody gets paid. I try to have everything on auto pay so I don't have to remember. I got the lease payment to Tesla on auto. I've got the supercharger stations on auto pay. What the? Anyway, here's a new movie by, there it is, Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh D'Souza. He's right over there in that corner if you kind of... Anyway, so he's talking back and forth with this guy. And he, from the creators of 2,000 Mules and Obama's America, Dinesh D'Souza, in collaboration with Dan Bongino. Now, Dan Bongino was a former... That's not him in the monkey suit. Although I think he went undercover as an inmate, but I don't know. This is Dinesh D'Souza right there, face front. This is Dan Bongino right there. I remember him. And he, in collaboration, featuring Nick Sirhi. And I don't know Nick. He must be Nick. Yeah, Nick. I'll go through these pictures. Maybe that's Nick, since he's a named character. See, here's Bongino. That's former President Trump. Anyway, police state. So that is a riveting docudrama kind of thing, talking about how the FBI has been weaponized and all this stuff. And, it's true. President Biden has confidential, super secret documents from when he was a vice president. And as a vice president or a senator, you're not allowed to take anything out of a SCIF, which is a self-contained, secure facility. If you get the drift on the acronym, SCIF. It's a self-contained, secure facility. So, it's like a den, with a locked door. So if you want to go see something that is super secret and you have the clearance to see it, you go in this room and you lock the door and you're in front of a computer screen. You type in your password, your username and password, because you have to get to the secure stuff. So you need your password. And, all of a sudden opens up, this treasure chest of whatever the hell you were supposed to look at, in a secure setting. Okay? Well, or it could be an envelope, a sealed envelope that a Secret Service agent gives you. So you open it up and it's a top secret. You look at it and that. Well, you're not allowed to take it apart and stuff it in your underwear and then hand this back in the envelope, and half of the contents of the paper is in your pants. You're not allowed to do that. Tell that to Mr. Berger, because he went into the National Archives and he had volumes of stuff that was original, only copy stuff of, I think, Bill Clinton stuff, that he actually went to the archives and just took it out and, presumably destroyed it, so no one can actually see what he was really doing with Monica Lewinsky or whatever. But he actually went in the archives and pulled it out. Amazing. Got this stuff on here. Let's get it out. Go on. So this is like a cellophane that's surrounding this. Let's get it out of there because it's annoying. There we go. It's ugly. There you go. Now it looks like a finished product. Whoops. Excuse me. All right. It is 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 25 seconds. And I'm going to say adios, amigo, because that's 101. You all have to get back to work. No more spending time with Jimmy as he's going around and around. But anyway, see, Police State, you can get it on CD-ROM. You can go online, I think, and order it somehow. And it's in the movie theaters like 2 days. It may have already been in the movie theater. I think those 2 days is like in October. But, if I'm going to look it up and see if it's still in, Movie Co. or whatever they call that theater now. They keep changing its name. Movie business is tough because they really are in the popcorn business. Because they only make about 10% of their revenue is from ticket sales, and 90% of their revenue is popcorn, candy, and Coca-Cola. So if you go in there and you don't have popcorn or candy, or if you bring your own candy, instead of paying $3.50 for a little tiny ammo, and you go across the street and you get this big jumbo bag for like $4, and then you don't have to have movie candy for, 2 months. Anyway, so we're going to say good afternoon. Get back to work. It's Monday, and you have to be productive. So we're going to turn up Epidemic. If my dials mean anything, this should sound echoey, which I don't want echoey. And I don't want reverb. It should be on. Something's on.